The government may look at bringing back MDR, that's merchant charges, on high-value UPI payments, with MDR likely based on transaction value instead of merchant turnover. My colleague Shrimi joins in for more details.
Indeed, a very important piece of information coming in. Sources tells us that government may allow bank to impose MDR, merchant discount rate, on high-value UPI transaction exceeding 3,000 rupees. Sources tells us that a very high-level meeting held last week between PMO and Finance Ministry official, where they have discussed the reintroduction of the MDR policy. Sources also indicated that there has been a discussion on whether the MDR could be levied on merchant turnover or the transaction, each transaction. So now this is very important as the discussion being held, and they have kind of formed a view that it should be on the transaction basis, that it's very difficult to kind of track merchant basis turnover. Now, what is the need at this point of time is sources says that it's mainly because need being felt to compensate banks and payment service provider given the kind of investment they made in the entire digital payment ecosystem. The second important point being raised on that UPI transaction dominates 80% of the transaction, and having a zero MDR is kind of demotivates the payment service providers. And the third important point is being discussed about that how this UPI transaction, especially person to merchant, have increased significantly and touches 60 lakh crore, which also showing consumer confidence in the digital payment system. Now, some of the points it's important to underline here is that government is very clear on the fact that it will not be levied on the small ticket transaction, and the merchant has to absorb this levy and shouldn't be passed on to the consumer. Another important fact is that RuPay credit will continue to be exempted from the MDR. Now, if you remember, the Payment Council of India has actually suggested 0.3% on these UPI transaction, and at present the rate, if you see, is between 0.9 to up to 2% on all credit and debit card except the RuPay credit card. So this entire discussion is underway, and we will see some decision coming in coming 1 to 2 months.